4, the owner of a local money service business was arrested this week and is now facing federal charges of money laundering involving drug cartels.
America, we just uncovered a massive cartel operation hiding in plain sight on Oregon streets. A Guatemalan national living illegally in the United States was running a $89 million money laundering empire through fake businesses, charging drug cartels a 10% commission to clean their dirty money. But here's the shocking part. She operated for 3 years right under federal authorities' noses, sending $18.5 million directly to cartel strongholds in Mexico and Honduras. What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This story perfectly exposes how our broken immigration system allows foreign criminals to build financial pipelines that fund the very cartels destroying American communities with drugs. Let me tell you guys about Brenda Lily Berra Arantas. This woman was operating something called La Popular, which looked like a legitimate money service business in Oregon and Washington. She had locations in Hillsborough, Beaverton, Woodburn, Odell, Canberra in Oregon, plus Vancouver, Washington.
On Wednesday, federal investigators arrested 39-year-old Guatemalan national Brenda Lily Barrera Orantes and searched the 3 La Popular stores she owned and operated in Oregon and Washington. She's accused of laundering more than $18 million to drug trafficking organizations in Mexico and Honduras.
Now, on the surface, these look like legitimate businesses where people could cash checks or send money back home to their families. But this was all a front. Between 2021 and 2024, this woman moved over $89 million through her stores, and $18.5 million of that went directly to regions in Mexico and Honduras that are known for drug trafficking operations. Think about that for a second. She was literally the financial pipeline for the cartels. While American families are being destroyed by fentanyl and other drugs, this illegal immigrant was making sure that the cartels got paid.
Court documents state Barrera Orantes wired nearly $90 million through her business, using fake information to hide her activities. Of that, nearly $19 million was sent to locations in Mexico and Honduras associated with drug trafficking groups.
What really gets me, in just a 3-month period from August to November of 2024, her stores sent over $4.2 million in wire transfers to Mexico. And during that same time, she personally accepted over $50,000 in cash that she knew was drug money and laundered it through her stores. You guys, this wasn't some amateur operation. This woman was running a criminal enterprise like it was a legitimate business, charging drug dealers a 10% commission to clean their dirty money. And to her credit, she was good at it too. She used fake sender information, broke large amounts into smaller transactions to avoid detection, and used different store locations to hide the trail.
That is crazy. That is a crazy amount of money. Insane.
Ellie didn't want to show her face on camera for her own safety, but she says over the years, she was suspicious of what was happening in these stores.
Even the community members knew something was wrong here. People were seeing luxury cars coming and going at these stores. That's not a normal cash checking business in a working class neighborhood. But this woman kept operating for years while she was in our country. You guessed it, illegally. The federal prosecutors are saying this case shows the pivotal role that money service businesses play in laundering the enormous proceeds of trafficking illegal drugs into our communities. And they're absolutely right about that. These small businesses that look legitimate on the surface are actually the financial backbone of the drug trade. Katie DeValiers from the Asset Recovery and Money Laundering Division said the amount of dirty money allegedly flowing through these small businesses and back to Mexico and Honduras are truly staggering. Staggering, you guys. We're talking about tens of millions of dollars flowing out of American communities back into the drug cartel's hands. But let's talk about who this really hurts. When the feds raided her operation in April, they didn't just find paperwork. They seized $316,000 in cash, a 2021 Cadillac Escalade, jewelry, and high-end clothing. This woman was living large off of drug money while she was in our country illegally.
I'm glad that, justice is being made, and I hope that the business gets shut down and that this kind of makes a call for others to know that they're going to get caught.
down. Now she hopes the folks who used to send money through La Popular will find more reputable money service businesses.
Think about the legitimate customers who were using these stores, hardworking immigrants who were just trying to send money back home to their families in Latin America. They were unknowingly participating in a money laundering operation because this criminal was using their legitimate transactions to hide her illegal activity. These families were being taken advantage of by somebody who was supposed to be serving their community. Instead, she was using their legitimate business to fund the very cartel that's destroying communities on both sides of the border. This case is part of Operation Take Back America, a nationwide initiative to eliminate cartels and transnational criminal organizations. And this is exactly the kind of case that shows you why we need strong immigration enforcement and why we need to crack down on these financial networks. The IRS criminal investigation has a whole project focus on complicit money servicing businesses working for Mexico drug trafficking organizations. They're using data analytics to identify these operations, and clearly it's working because they just caught one. But here's what bothers me. How many of these operations are still out there? How many other quote unquote legitimate businesses are actually fronts for money laundering? This woman moved $89 million over a 3-year period, and she was just one person running a few stores.
Court documents allege she laundered nearly $90 million between 2021 and 2024. More than $18 million of that allegedly sent to parts of Mexico and Honduras tied to drug cartels. If she's convicted, she faces up to 20 years in prison and a $500,000 fine, or twice the value of the laundered funds.
This woman pled guilty and agreed to forfeit her Beaverton residence and all the seized property. She's looking at up to 20 years in federal prison, a $500,000 fine, and 3 years of supervised release. But you know what? That's exactly what she deserves, and it's probably not even enough. But let's talk about the real issue here. This woman was able to operate for years, move tens of millions of dollars while living here illegally. She should have been deported a long time ago before she could build this criminal empire. This is exactly why border security matters. This is why immigration enforcement matters. When people come here illegally, they set up criminal enterprises. They're not just breaking immigration law, they're facilitating drug trade that's destroying American communities. Special Agent Matthew Murphy from Homeland Security Investigations said it perfectly. Money laundering allows drug traffickers to thrive in the shadows, and by severing their cash flow, we're striking the very thing that incentivizes their pursuits. This case involved the IRS, Homeland Security Investigations, and the FBI and local police departments all working together. That is what it takes to fight these transnational criminal organizations. Coordinated law enforcement on every level. But we shouldn't have to wait for these massive investigations to catch people who shouldn't be in our country in the first place. If we had had proper immigration enforcement, Brenda would have been deported before she could launder $89 million to the drug cartel. America, this story perfectly illustrates everything I've been telling you about illegal immigration and organized crime. This wasn't just somebody trying to make a better life. This was a criminal who exploited our broken immigration system to build a money laundering empire that directly funded the cartels killing Americans with fentanyl. $89 million, you guys, from somebody who wasn't even supposed to be in our country. While American families are being destroyed by the opioid and drug crisis, this illegal immigrant was making sure the drug dealers got paid, taking a 10% cut for herself. This is why we need strong immigration enforcement. This is why we need to crack down on these money laundering operations. And this is why we need to stop treating immigration law like a suggestion. The good news is that Operation Take Back America is working. Law enforcement agencies are coordinating to take down these criminal networks, but we need to do more to prevent these operations from getting started in the first place. Let me know what you think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.